Okay. So in the last video, now till Maratha relation, the British and Maratha Empire we are trying to understand. In this chapter, the, this chapter is all about the how the Maratha people have the colonization of the Maratha. Okay, the Maratha Empire. So in that, how they made their colonies, because before there were Mughal Empire were there in our country. So how this Maratha people have attacked those people, which means the this history is very important to understand each and everyone. Okay, when the Panhala fort was under, the Panhala fort was under siege led by the Adil Shahi army and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Panhala fort, was actually under the Adil Shahi army. Okay, wait, I'm going to show you the face also. Okay, Adil Shahi face. Adil Shahi means these are the people who are Adil Shahi. And if I talk about the Panhala fort, Panhala, directly it is coming, right? So this is the Panhala fort, you can see. It is in Kolhapur. Clear? It is in Kolhapur. Okay. So when this Panhala fort was under the control of Adil Shahi army, Adil Shahi army, and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was trapped inside the fort. Okay. So when this Panhala fort was under the control of Adil Shahi army and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was inside the fort, okay, and Henry Remington, there is a British officer, Henry Remington, a British officer, and Gifford and Villaji were supplying ammunition to Adil Shahi army. So basically what happened, the situation is that Panhala fort, uh, Panhala fort was under the Adil Shahi army, and inside that our Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was there, and the arms and weapons was given by the British people, to the Adil Shahi army, like Gifford and Villaji, okay, and Villaji were supplying ammunition to Adil Shahi army, and they were certain that there was no escape for Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj from this situation, and so they this Adil Shahi army thinking that they thought that the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj will not going to be escape. There is no chance for the escape of this Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, because they are thinking. However, here it is clearly written. Here it is written that a Maharaj was successful in escaping from Panhala. Okay, the Maharaj. Okay, our Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was successful in escaping the Panhala fort. Right? He was successful, and next year only, the Marathas defeated the British in the Rajapur campaign. Okay, so Panhala fort, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj escaped, and next year, the Maratha army attacked the Mughals. Okay, the British in Rajapur. The British officer Henry Remington and Randolph Taylor and Philip Gifford were arrested and imprisoned for 2 years. So then this Maratha army had attacked the British people, and this three, Philip Gifford, Randolph and Remington, they arrested for 2 years by the Maratha Empire. Early Lieutenant Earlier the Lieutenant Stephen Ustig and had met Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on Raigad for obtaining permission from the British factory. So earlier there was a lieutenant. So the Stephen had met the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj for permission to obtaining permission for establishing the factory. A meeting between Sundarji and Pilaji. A meeting between Sundarji and Pilaji, who were the representative of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and Ustik was arranged, but the negotiation in this meeting were not successful. So basically, if I talk about the Earlier, there was a Stephen, a British officer. He wants a permission to establish a factory, and the representative of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, okay, uh, had fixed the meeting with this guy, the Uzbek British officer, but somehow it was not successful. The meeting was not successful. Then Henry Oxenden, a British agent. Then Henry Oxenden, again the Henry Oxenden, the British agent, was present in the coronation ceremony of Shivaji Maharaj. I think so. Most of you is already aware about it. If you had studied about the uh, so there was a British officer, Henry Oxenden. He was present in the coronation ceremony of Shivaji Maharaj. Coronation, which means the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was sitting on the throne. He was becoming a Raja. So at that time he was present. He obtained the permission to obtain a British factory in Rajapur. So at that particular time, he got the permission also, because the situation was very happy moment. And on 12th June 1674, an agreement was signed by the British and Maharashtra. Okay, so 12 June 1674, the agreement was signed between the British and the Maharashtra. The following terms and conditions were included in the. So in this particular agreement, there was following terms and condition was there: issuing issuing permission for the British to trade in Swarajya. Okay, they had issued the permission for the British to trade in Swarajya, to open factories in Rajapur, Dabhol, Chaul and Kalyan, and right of the Marathas and the right of the Marathas levied to 2.5% outlay on the British goods. So whatever the British is earning, so 2.5% will get the Marathas. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj the prohibited use of the British coinage in the Maratha domination. So Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in his Swarajya, he had put the restriction not to use the British coins. Okay, British coinage, not to use the British coin. Clear? Till now understood? In the ceremony, the Henry Oxenden got the permission, and there was an agreement signed between the Maratha and British people. And in the agreement, it was written 2.5% profit the Maratha will get. And then Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj also said that we don't need avoid using avoid using the British coinage, and diminished he also diminished some of the condition put by British. Okay, and he also diminished some of the condition which is put by the British, such as the British goods found afloat from the wrecked ship should be returned to them, and the Marathas should enter a treaty with the Siddhis and Zanjira. Okay, so basically what happened? The Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj not only prohibited the British coinage, he also prohibited the whatever goods which the Maratha people are getting on the ships, so it should be returned to them. And he had made an agreement, and and then Maratha should enter the treaty with Siddhis people and Janjira. Okay, and this clearly reveals his resolute policy, and this clearly reveals his resolute policy of safeguarding Maratha sovereignty. Okay, this clearly reveals what? To resolute the policy of safeguarding the Maratha sovereignty. So because he was having an agreement with this people to protect his, to making the strong his Swarajya. And in the times of Chhatrapati Sahu Maharaj, okay, in the times of Chhatrapati Sahu Maharaj, when Nana Sahib Peshwa took charge of administration, and during that time they had took charge of the administration, Sahu Maharaj and Nana Sahib Peshwa, of administration of the Swarajya, the British could ensure their entry in the political affairs. Okay, so the British could ensure their entry in the political affairs of the Marathas as Nana Sahib. On one occasion, on one occasion sought help from the British. Nana Sahib was succeeded by his second son. Okay, was succeeded by second son Madharao Peshwa. However, the Nana Sahib younger brother Raghunath wanted to become the Peshwa. Raghunath Rao alias Raghuba approached the British for help. It resulted appointed a British envoy in the Peshwa court in Pune. So basically what happened, these people have took the charge, Nana Sahib Peshwa and administration of the Sarajya, and they started asking help from the Britisher. Okay, so here they started, and then obviously uh, in 1765 the British took over the fort of Malvan. Obviously, if the Maratha people is asking help from them, so British people were very smart. They have took over the fort, okay, of Malvan, and after the death of Madharao Peshwa, his younger brother Narayan Rao become Peshwa, and in his reign the British tried to conquer. So basically, this Peshwa family, after the Peshwa family, the British people were very smart, and they started capturing the area by area. So like this they had. So the Narayan Rao Peshwa during his time, the British people were very smart. They had captured the Thane area, Vasai area, Vijaydang, okay, Vijay and Ratnagiri. Just imagine, okay. In the North India, the Mughal emperor was under the protection of Shinde Holkars. So Mughal emperor was under the protection of. So Mughal emperor was given protection by the Shindes and Holkar. And by this time, the British had become. By this time, the British has become active to get custody of the Mughal. Active to get custody of the Mughal emperor and reduce the power of the Maratha Bhosle dynasty of Nagpur in Bengal. So British people at that time, because they are already captured some of the area in the Maharashtra side, so they were very active in the north also, in the Bengal. So they had put them custody in the Mughal, and they had reduced the power of Bhosle dynasty and Nagpur in Bengal. Bhosle dynasty of Nagpur in Bengal. And for the British, for the British to bring the region uh, from Shasti Vasai to Konkan under their sway was a priority for trading operation. And for the British people, they want to capture this area from Vasai to Konkan. Why? Because they need to do a trading operation from there. So they were already planning and moving in that direction. The British people were already planning and they were moving in that direction. Then Raghunath Rao Peshwa was offered a slim by the British. So this Raghunath Rao Peshwa was offered offered a help, okay, offered a slim by the British. So Raghunath Peshwa has the British people have given the Aslim which means by the British, and the British army marched, and this British army had marched from Mumbai to Pune with Raghunath Peshwa in their escort. The British army and the Maratha army, the British and the Maratha army met at Talegaon, Wadgaon near Pune, and had a combat between them. The British army and of course Raghunath Rao also was defeated by the Marathas. So basically, what happened? So this British army had assailed the Raghunath Rao. There was a They had angrily said, "Okay, come in the battlefield." Then after that, they came in between the uh, this area. We can say that Pune. They had a battle between them, and obviously the British people were defeated by the Maratha people. They were clearly defeated by the Marathas. A treaty was signed, which is known as the Wadgaon Treaty. Later, treaty was signed, which is known as the Wadgaon Treaty. Later, Nana Fadnavis formed an alliance. Okay, so after this situation, what happened? Obviously, the British was defeated, and there was a treaty was signed, which was known as the Wadgaon Treaty, because this battle was taken place in Wadgaon. Okay, and later the Nana Fadnavis formed an alliance of four rulers. Okay, and later the Nana Fadnavis had made a four alliance, and this is called as namely Peshwa, Okay, namely Peshwa Bhosle of Nagpur, Nizam and Hyder. Okay, Peshwa Bhosle, Nizam and Hyder. And however, the British successfully, however, obviously, like they come together, this Nizam people and Hyder's people and Peshwa and Bhosle, they came together for people to be in the community and to attack the Britisher. And however, this Nizam people were easily persuaded by the British. Okay, persuaded the Nizam to break the alliance, and this happening, all through these happenings, the British governor, all through this happening, the British governor Warren Hastings has realized that if the British had to establish their permanent rule in India, it was crucial to subdue the Maratha. Okay, in the Battle of Kharda, which means Ahmednagar. So, so because of this, this is happening, the Warren Hastings, the British officer, have thought if we need to permanently uh, capture this area, okay, rule India, so we need to remove the Maratha people. So again the battle was started in the Ahmednagar. The Maratha army had sweeping. The Maratha army had a sweeping victory over the Nizam in 1795. The Maratha people have got a victory from the Nizam. The British envoy who was present in the Maratha camp. So British said the British envoy who was in the present in the Maratha camp could minutely observe and study the military tactics of the Marathas. So British people were in the camp and they could study the Maratha tactics and military tactics of the Marathas. Later, with the help of this envoy, Lord Lord Wellesley could defeat the Marathas. British people were very smart. British people were smarter than the Indian people, the Maratha people. They have learned the techniques from the Maratha and they defeated the Marathas. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm coming. Now, so I'm here. I'm here. So Lord Wesley. So in short, I can say that the British people were very smart. British people learned the military techniques, strategy from the Maratha, and they defeated the Maratha. Right? They learned from them and they defeated them. And then Nana Fadnavis died. Okay, Nana Fadnavis died during the time of Bajirao Peshwa II. Right? So Nana Fadnavis what died during the Bajirao Peshwa II. The relationship between Holkar and Bajirao Peshwa II had turned bitter. Okay, the relationship between the Holkar from north and the Bajirao it was had turned very bitter. As a result, the Yashwantrao Holkar attacked Pune. So as a result, the Yashwantrao Holkar attacked the Pune because then Bajirao Peshwa II panicked and sought Muslim from the British. The treaty was signed the British and Peshwa and sought help from the British, and the British was had addressing the British and Peshwa after this incident on the Treaty of Versailles. However, this treaty was not acceptable to Shinde and Holkar, hence there was another Anglo-Maratha war. In 1803, the Maratha were defeated in this war. The third Anglo-Maratha war was fought 1817. The Maratha were again defeated and the Maratha rule came to an end in 1818. Bajirao Peshwa was granted an annual pension by the British and he spent rest of his life in Bithor near Kanpur. So in short, I can say that this in the end moment, so there was a problem was taken place between this Maratha Empire from north and near Bajirao and between Holkar family. Holkar family attacked attacked the Bajirao, and the Bajirao took the help from the British people. And British people were obviously they were very smart, so British people was giving pension to the Bajirao Peshwani was living his rest of his life over there in Bitur near Kanpur. Clear? Now, so we can say that how the British, how this the end is happening, end of the Maratha Empire. Okay. Now Siddhis people and the Maratha Empire. These are the Mughal. Okay. In the latter half of the 15th century. Okay. Latter half of the 15th, which means 1450 nearby. Okay. 1450. After the 1450s, Siddhis arrived in India, which means very earlier than the Maratha. They had came from the Abyssinia, Ethiopia. They established themselves at the Janjira. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took over the forts. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took over the fort 1648 at Tel and Gosle and Rayari. And Siddhi was alarmed because of this. Siddhi people have actually came a very long back in this area, right, and established themselves. And then Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj were took their forts. So these people, Siddhi people, were very shocked. They were alarmed because of this. And then 1671, the Maratha army blocked all the approaches to Janjira fort. 1671, the Maratha army blocked all the approaches to Janjira fort, and Siddhi agreed to surrender. So then Maratha army were very smart. They have blocked all the Janjira fort, and Siddhi people were surrender themselves in front of the Marathas. But at the same time, extended a hand of friendship with the to the Mughals and expressed readiness to their feudatory. So they were very, but at that situation the Siddhi people were surrender, and at the same time they had took a friendship with the Mughals. The Mughals agreed to help them, and with the help of Mughals, Sindhi successfully repulsed the Maratha army. They were very smart. First they surrender, and then after that they asked help from the Mughals, and they were came into the charge. Sindhi and the British always help each other. Sindhi and the British always help each other against a common enemy. Okay, the Siddhi people and the British always help each other against the common enemy. To strengthen the Maratha position, to strengthen the Maratha position against these two, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, okay, against these two people, the Siddhi and the Britisher, to strengthen the position of the Maratha against these two, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj began to build a fort on Khanderi Island in 1679. In 1679, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had built a fort to attack the Siddhi and Mughals. The construction was supervised by the Manik Bhandari. Okay, this construction work was supervised by Manik Bhandari in Hughes. A British officer attempted to shut down the construction work by stopping the supplies to the site. So the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was build a fort, and while during the construction work there was a one British officer came and stopped the work, stopped the work by stopping the supplying of the resources of construction work. The British had to face a strong opposition from Manik Bhandari and Daulat Khan, the chief of the Maratha Navy. So at that time, this British officer, okay, the British officer had faced a very difficulty from Manik Bhandari and Daulat Khan, the Maratha Navy. They seized the British ships, and at that time, what they did, they seized the British ships and captured the number of British officers. The British deployed one big steamship and seven small ships. 40 to 50 small ships of the Maratha 40 to 50 small ships of the Maratha bravely confronted the British ships, and in the end British were forced to bid a retreat from the vicinity of Khanderi in 1680. So now what happened, the British people has came to stop their construction work, but finally what happened, the British had to retreat from the vicinity of Khanderi Island in 1680. Why? Because these people were very strong, okay, of the Marathas bravely confronted Sindhi Siddhi was increasingly getting difficult. So the Siddhi people are getting too much difficult with the Maratha because they were. And hence, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj decided to curb his movement and planned a campaign against him. So, so Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was decided to curb the movement and plan a campaign against them. Siddhi was driven to despair because of the repeated attacks by the Marathas and Underi, Apte and Janjira. So while Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was thus planning to crush the Siddhi forever, the Mughal army marching towards Swarajya, it would be unwise to face two enemies at two different fronts. Maratha army should stop chasing Siddhi. I am stopping here, okay, and we will continue from here tomorrow. Till now we have understood about the Siddhi versus the Maratha Empire and the British and all. Siddhi people have uh, asked help from the Mughals, but British people were very strong. They attacked them. Clear? Okay.